day 1 of our trip. We are leaving bright and early from Denver and we're heading north to Mount Rushmore. And we're going to go put flamingos all over the presidents, like Godzilla, with flamingos. And that's basically the only place we're going to the first day. We just have to get up to Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse and that kind of stuff, and then we're going to spend the night in Rapid City.
Day 2, driving from Rapid City, South Dakota, going to Bowman, North Dakota, and stopping at Little Bighorn on the way. We're going to do lunch in Bowman, and then leaving there, heading to Billings, Montana.
So day 3 of our journey takes us from Billings to Spokane, and we're going to be driving west along I-90, and we're going to go through the western part of Montana and Idaho, and arrive into Spokane late that evening.
On day 4, we'll be leaving Spokane, Washington and heading to Portland, Oregon. The only thing we have on tap thus far is that we'd like to hit Powell's City of Books. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds divine, especially if it's an entire city made of books.
Day 5 is going to be one of the longest days of driving. We will be driving from Portland, Oregon to San Francisco, California. That's about 10.5 hours of driving right there, and that's pretty much all we'll be doing.
Day 6, we've driven crazy long the day before to get into San Francisco, so we're going to spend the morning in the city. We're going to look at the Golden Gate Bridge and maybe the Fisherman's Wharf and the Ghirardelli stuff and have some crab, and it's going to be really great, but we've got to get out of the city relatively quick because we've got to drive all the way to Anaheim that evening because we're going to Disneyland the next day.
We're going to Disneyland!
We're going to Disneyland!
We're going to Disneyland!
Disneyland! Alright, day 7 of our trip is a no travel day. We're going to be at Disneyland, so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll be able to relax, enjoy some sights, and also hopefully meet up with Southern California's DI program and do some flamingo flocking and stuff like that on day 7 of our journey before we head out.
Alright, on day 8, we will be leaving Anaheim. We'll be leaving Disneyland behind. But we'll be heading to Las Vegas, which is the city of lights and feathers and gambling. I don't know that we're going to actually gamble, but, you know, lights and feathers are fun too. So on day 9, we will leave Las Vegas. We will head through St. George, Utah. We're only going to be in Utah for probably under an hour. Then we'll go into the Grand Canyon and we'll end up that night in Flagstaff. So day 9 is going to be a gorgeous day of beautiful scenery. I mean, from Las Vegas through Utah into the Grand Canyon and then on to Flagstaff is just, I mean, that's the Southwest right there, isn't it? On day 10, we will be leaving Flagstaff, Arizona, and we'll head into Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're hoping to be able to get a balloon ride, and we're definitely going to swing by the Hot Air Balloon Museum in Albuquerque.
Alright, day 11 of our journey begins in Albuquerque, and we're going to be heading east to Oklahoma City. We're going to be stopping on the way at the Cadillac Ranch, which is outside of Amarillo, Texas. And it's a lot like Stonehenge, but with Cadillacs, so that'll be fun to see. And we will be just mostly driving that day, seeing the sights along western Oklahoma, gorgeous western Oklahoma, so.
Day 12, we'll be going to the Cowboy Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and then we'll be leaving and going to Little Rock, Arkansas.
On day 13, we will leave Little Rock, Arkansas, and we'll head into New Orleans, Louisiana, which is one of my most favorite cities in all of America, and we'll spend our night in the city.
Day 14, we've traveled to New Orleans the night before, so we've got the morning to spend in the city. We can go to the French Quarter or the Magazine District and look around and see all of the funky architecture and listen to some jazz, and it's all going to be very cool. And then we just need to drive to Pensacola that night, and that's not a very long drive at all, so we've got all day to spend in the city as we want to.
Day 15 of our journey begins in Pensacola after a day at the beach. We're going to be driving northeast to Atlanta, Georgia, where we'll be doing a lot of Martin Luther King sites there. So it'll be a lot of fun. The journey won't be as long, but it'll definitely be worth it when we get into Atlanta that night.
Day 16, we will be spending the morning in Atlanta, Georgia, hitting the sites that highlight Martin Luther King. We'll be leaving there and heading into Spartanburg, South Carolina. Not much there, just lunch, and then we'll be heading to Knoxville, Tennessee to have some great barbecue by the river.
Day 17 is a two-part day for us. We're going to start that morning in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we're driving up to Lexington, Kentucky. We're hoping to see the Kentucky Horse Park around lunchtime, and then we're headed out of there, and we need to get to Charleston, West Virginia by that evening.
Day 18 is going to be one of my favorite days. It's going to be President's Day, and we'll be in Monticello. So that day consists of driving from Charleston, West Virginia to Charlottesville, Virginia, doing Monticello, leaving there, going from Charlottesville, Virginia to Washington, D.C., one of my favorite places in the United States.
Day 19 of our journey is a no travel day. We're going to be in DC, our nation's capital. We'll definitely have a lot of fun there. We're going to see many museums, many Smithsonian museums on the National Mall. We're going to be able to see the Capitol building, the White House, and definitely do some Destination Imagination promoting there as well as flamingo flocking.
On day 20, we're going to leave Washington, D.C. We'll head through Baltimore, Maryland, where we may or may not stop and see Duff at Charm City Cakes. Then we will leave Baltimore, we'll head into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we'll finish up our day at Independence Historical Park.
Day 21, we'll be starting off in Philadelphia. We'll be heading to DI headquarters to see all you beautiful people out there that make this work from the top down. From there, we'll be heading into New York. It says it's only going to take 2 hours, but likelihood with traffic, it's going to take us much more time. We're going to store the car and then hit the trains and go hit the city.
Day 22 of our journey is a no travel day. We will be in New York City, touring the Big Apple, doing Destination Imagination promoting, and flamingo flocking, of course.
On day 23, we will get the car out of storage in New York, we'll head into Providence, Rhode Island, and we will finish our day in Boston, Massachusetts.
Day 24 is going to knock out a bunch of the states in New England for us. We are starting in Boston and we are headed north all the way up to Maine, and then we're taking a sharp turn west and going to Albany, New York. This is also going to put us through Vermont and New Hampshire, so there's going to be lots of, hey look, here we are, here's some flamingos, and then driving on our way.
So on day 25, we will leave Albany and head to Buffalo. So it's New York, New York, New York on day 25. But our hope is to see Niagara Falls.
Day 26 of our journey has us beginning from Buffalo, New York, where we then travel to Cleveland. We're going to visit and tour the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then make our way down to Toledo, Ohio.
Okay, day 27. We'll be starting off in Toledo, Ohio. We'll be taking I-90 all the way westerly direction, and that never goes into Michigan. So we're going to take a little route up to Sturgis just to say we saw Sturgis, and then come back out. Not that Sturgis, it's a different Sturgis. And then we'll be ending in Chicago.
So on day 28, we will leave Chicago. We will go into Madison, Wisconsin, and we will finish up our day in Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay, so day 29, we have to get up really early because we have to get all the way up through Minnesota, down through Des Moines, and down into Omaha before the very coolest zoo in the middle of the country. It's the very coolest zoo, I just want you to know that. We have to get to the zoo in Omaha before it closes. The zoo, I guess, has the world's largest desert enclosure and giant rainforest. And I think by that point we're going to be frozen, so a giant rainforest is going to sound really, really good.
Day 27 of our journey has us beginning from Omaha. We are traveling to Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas, where we are going to the Negro Baseball League, and in the same building is the American Jazz Museum. We'll then travel on and spend the night in Salina, Kansas.
Day 31, we'll be looking forward to getting home. We'll be starting in as far into Kansas as we can get, in Salina maybe, with what we were thinking. But that's the most dangerous day of the trip. We got to be focused in Denver.